going on YouTube? Welcome again to another episode of Papa Traits Daily. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that smash button, and let's go. Let's keep it going, guys. So today's episode, I want to be talking about how to actually get started with trading. Over the next few days, I'll be actually uploading posts on what I will be doing. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi signal around here is not fast enough at the moment. I've moved into a temporarily place, haven't found the final spot. I will be posting videos. Pretty much I'm going to be trying to do it daily, and of what I would be doing, what I will be doing the next day, according to supports and rejection bands. And we're going to be doing options trading. That's what I like to do. It's a little bit of degenerate trading. It's high risk, high reward. Please only use money that you are willing to risk and willing to lose. Hope we can make some money together. Made a lot of money in the past. I've lost a lot of money in the past, but let's get started. The software right here that you are seeing is Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim is a software being provided by TD Ameritrade. TD Ameritrade has Thinkorswim, which is one of the best systems that I have found out there. It is entirely accurate. It is, it shows you, it has a bunch of things to do. It's got a very good analyzation of a market watch. It's got, the charts are just phenomenal. Right now what you're seeing right here is a daily chart of the SPY. Now the SPY is what we're going to be trading more pretty much is what I'm going to be trading all the time. The SPY is, for those of you that do not know, it is an index fund that is following the S&P 500. The S&P 500 does track the top 500 companies in the U.S. If we zoom in, as you see right now, click and hold. This is pretty much what's going to be, this is a daily chart on the SPY. Now, what I want to be showing you guys, and what I would like to know in respects to that, is if we want to go ahead and proceed with using just TD Ameritrade, or if we prefer to use a software by Webull. Now, Webull is a lot better for those of us that are starting, that are just getting started, because it is very user-friendly. I'm going to swap over to the screen, and you're going to see how much easier it is to follow something like Webull. As you can see right here, it is to the point. It allows you to make those graphs. It allows you to do everything. The coolest thing about Webull is that Webull actually has cryptocurrency and stocks all in one. Previously, when we were using Thinkorswim does not. Thinkorswim is an amazing software if you are only trading stocks or options. Of course, options being the option to buy or the option to sell stocks. Now, I want to focus on Webull for those of us that are starting off. Some videos you might see me going over to TD Ameritrade, to Thinkorswim. I'm a lot more comfortable with it. From the beginning of when it all started, I started actually doing Thinkorswim because I wanted to do the pro way right away. And back when I did, there wasn't a big situation happening with cryptocurrency. It was back in the beginning of 2019 when cryptocurrency was all just, is it real? Is it true? What is it? All that good stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into Webull. Now, in the description below, I tried adding the link for you to get Webull. The coolest thing about Webull is that if you comment below, if you give me your email address, I will be sending you a link for you to get some free stock. Now, this stock, you could actually sell it and turn into money right away. It can be anywhere between like $5, $6, $8, $100. It states on the referral that it could be up to $3,000. I would love to hear somebody tell me, hey, I got $3,000. I'd be like, whoa, you're on a winning streak. But I will be sending you a link. Just hit the like button below, hit subscribe, drop me your email below if you want to. I will go ahead and send you a link right away, and you click on that link will take you over to this page. Once you're on this page, obviously you can just hit get started right away. It'll tell you how do you want to receive your free shares. It's simple as this. You open an account, you get your free shares. You have to deposit any amount into Webull. Now, this amount again is what you're going to be using to trade over the next few days, weeks, months, or hopefully for your next lifetime. It is important that everybody trades, everybody learns to understand what buying, selling is, and how the markets work, so you can understand better the fluctuality of prices overall, not just in the market, but in the actual life, because the market does affect the actual life, right? Um, for example, going to a grocery store, you'll be able to understand, why is this so expensive? Why is this so affordable? Should I wait to invest on this? Should I wait to invest on that? And so on and so forth. So this is the Webull software. You would simply hit get started. Now I already have an account, so it's not going to allow me to go through with the process. You would pretty much, you could sign up with your phone number. You would get a verification code. Once you get that verification code, it'll ask you to get your email address. You should get your email address. You ask you for a password, of course. It'll ask you for all your details. Now, these videos are for the US, so you would have to have a social security number to be able to trade. It's gonna ask you for actual address, source of income, all that good stuff. Nothing too serious, but it's just to verify that you are an actual human trying to trade. So once you have signed up, with the phone, email, you've gone through all that stuff, you'll be receiving this message right here. You've successfully registered. Once you successfully registered, you would download either the application for the app, for if you're an Apple user, which, I mean, if you're an adult, you should be. If you're, or for the rest of us that we're working there, we're getting there. You'll go ahead and get an Android app, and that would help you out. Now, I'm not too familiar with the Android app. I wouldn't know how Webull works on it. I'm sure that Webull performs equally on both, both systems. Now, once you do download it and you're all set and you deposited your $100, that's when you're going to be able to go into this screen. Now, this screen right here is where you're going to be adding everything. Now, what is going on here? Down here, and I'm going to be moving myself to the other side. Whoop. There we go. A little better, I think. So what you have over here is you're going to have your watch list. You have your stocks, markets. This is an overall understanding of the market. Earlier, I was talking to you about the SPY. The SPY is tracking the S&P 500 index, which is going to be this one right here. If you open up the S&P 500 index, which is the SPX, this is what it looks like now. Now, I will be going over in a minute exactly on what is going on, what is happening in each candle and all that good stuff. I just want to give you an overview of the SPY and more or less of what I'm going to be doing so that we can continue to move forward, so on and so forth. But if you're like, hey, Papa Trades, I want to figure out how to track this or track that, or I want to do this, or I want to understand the Dow Jones, I want to understand the NASDAQ, drop a comment below with your questions, comments, all that good stuff, and I'll make sure to include them in the next episode 100%. Now, going over to the SPY, which is going to be our favorite friend, that is the SP, not the SPY. Now, the SPY being down here, now you're more than welcome to mess with all this stuff here on the left that you see. I forgot to tell you, if you continue going down, that's where you're going to see your account. You would type in a PIN number. Now, this PIN number, that trading password that it just asked me for, it is extremely important that you actually write it down, memorize it, lose it, because Webull does not store it. Right here on the account details, it'll just tell you more or less what you have done. It's got your favorites right here. Account details, you can see right now I only have $4.95. I am mainly using my TD Ameritrade account. However, like I said, this is very user friendly and I want to be able to use it for you to understand what traders are looking at. When you see all these graphs, when you see all the situation happening, don't panic. It's an easy process. It's not as complicated as it looks. Is it easy to make money? It is. Is it easier to lose money? It's a lot easier to lose money. So with that being said, let's move forward. I went ahead and clicked on stocks, recently watched. Now I want to go to my watch list. Now your watch list, what is your watch list? It's pretty much the stocks that you are watching. Let's say you wanted to add something like Tesla. You go TSLA. On Tesla right here, it just came up over here on the left side, as you can see. I'll go ahead and right click on that one, or double finger click on that if we're using a Mac. That brings up, you would go ahead, I actually already have it on my favorites, that's why it's not letting me. Okay, let's see, Wells Fargo I definitely do not have. So I would right click that, and I would add to watch list, and I would add to my watch list. And from then on, every time I went to my watch list, it would appear. So whatever you're thinking of trading, whatever you're hearing about, whatever you're into, just know that you can add it. Have it on your watch list, have it ready to go, so you're able to switch back and forth between bam, next one, bam, next one, bam, next one. Now, let's start off with the SPY, so we can start going over some very important key takeaways. Now, once you open up and select a stock that you are looking at, or a currency, if you're doing crypto, you would actually have an overall understanding of this, right? Now, down here we have our MACD, and right down over here we have the RSI. Now, I will be making separate videos on what the MACD is and how to add it to your Webull, and what the RSI is. And whoa, look at this, windy day in Mexico. Again, don't forget that I am in Mexico, but nice life down here. As you can see, I'm getting a little tan going. Anyway, getting back to it, I will be adding a video on how to add the RSI and how to use it, exactly what it means. Basically, the RSI gets overextended all the way to the top. As you can see right here, it has reached its top. And what happens when it reaches the top, as you can see right over here, it has also reached its top. It begins to drop. Basically, the RSI is measuring, when it's oversold, when it's overbought, so on and so forth. Anyway, so what you're looking at is at the main chart, right? What you want to do every time you open up a security, what I like to do, is you want to hit on the daily. You want to see the daily because it's just the best understanding of what's happening. You don't want to go as far out as a monthly chart, because then things sort of don't make sense. It is just way too zoomed out. It goes all the way back to 1994, which, although it could be relevant if you're trading in a very long-term account, if you're trying to, start retirement fund, so on and so forth, at that point it will make sense. As of now, for what we're going to be doing for our purpose, go to the daily chart. Daily chart is what you want to start off at. So first of all, what are we looking at? We are looking at the daily chart. And you want to see where things lay today. Market today, Monday, May 8th. Market closed at around 412 and 74 cents. I say 412 and 74 cents. Just making sure. Sometimes Webull's a little bit off by the cents, not too much. But we're seeing the same amount right here, and Thinkorswim, 412.74. Okay. So that is what you're looking at, right? So if you wanted to enter a position, what you want to do is, what I like to do is I want to add a drawing. These lines right here, this red line you see here, and this yellow line that you see here, I added those. They weren't there. They're not going to be on your chart. You need to add them. Why are they there? It's for reasons that I find supports or rejections, and I have added them there myself. What is a support? What is a rejection? That's what we're getting into. So I would add a trend line, right? But I want to add a horizontal line, simply just to outline where we are today. Which we are, I'm going to try to get it as exact as possible. There we go. You got to double click on that one. Okay. So that blue line is more or less where the market is today. Now, if you wanted to enter a position, you want to enter at something where you're finding support. Now, what is support? Support, if we backtrack a little bit, is when you see a security moving up, for example, like this, and there's many supports and many other lines that we could draw down here, but now we are comparing it to our recent one. Now, the one that we've recently drawn is 412 and 74 cents, right? And that one, more or less, as you could see in the past, back in, for example, May 10th, 2021, looks like the SPY came right up, it got rejected, and it had to come down. And it took around roughly 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5, roughly around 5 to 7 weeks before it was actually rejected again, dropped down, and finally pushed through. So as you can see, that was what a rejection line would be. A rejection support is somewhere where you don't want to go long. Going long means you are buying a security and you believe that it's going to go up in the future. Going short means that you are betting that the market is actually going to go down. If you go short, there's different ways to do it. My favorite way of doing it is through the options market by grabbing some puts. So you actually, I don't want to confuse you too much in the terminology, but a put is an option where you borrow securities with the promise that you will return those securities in a future date for the exact same price. So what happens is that if you buy shares at 100 and that share price drops to $90, right? You borrowed the shares. You borrowed the shares and you will return the exact amount of shares. Now, if you buy 10 shares at $100, that is $1,000, right? Now, if those shares drop tomorrow to $90 a price, that difference of $10 would be your profit. Why is that? The reason that would be your profit is because those same shares that you borrowed, those 10 shares, are now worth $90. So at $90, you will sell your shares that were $100, right? And you will buy them again at $90 and return those shares to its original owner, and therefore you keep the difference. It's not as complicated as it sounds. It's as easy as clicking something and clicking it again. That is exactly how you buy and sell. And throughout the process of the next few days, weeks, months, years, hopefully, I will continue to update and answer questions. It will continue to move forward on how to buy, how to sell. And I'm starting this channel from the straight beginning because I want to learn myself. You know, questions that all beginners might have, questions that I might have surpassed as I got, my financial degree, and I might have not acknowledged, or I might have forgotten now, these tiny little things that can essentially, as we both grow together, can be fundamental to our process of buying and trading. So what are we doing here? We're talking about rejection zones, as you can see. So where we are today, right here, the SPY seems to be at a rejection zone, right? Now, I wouldn't go long necessarily here. It looks like the SPY has tried to pass right here, and let's zoom in on that one right there. It looks like the SPY is having a hard time crossing this 412 threshold. Looks like it's gone up. It went all the way up to, let's see, right here. At this point, you can see the high being 415.72. Now, where am I seeing at? That's in these numbers right here. The numbers are changing right now because I'm going through each candle, but you can see the high number is what I'm looking at right there. So when I put the cursor on this symbol, looks like it went up as high as 415.72, number next to the H. 415.72, it got rejected. It went down all the way to 403.65. 403.65, keep that number in mind because I will remind you. Off of 403.65, you will call that support. It went up to 417.62. From 417.62, it got rejected again, pushing it down. Now, this is where it gets interesting. 417, it has taken, and this was May 1st. May 1st being last Monday. So last Monday, it got rejected. It went down all of last week, only to make a pop back up last Friday. And the pop up was pretty much right to where we're at, 417.62. or let's see, went as high as 413.72. So it did go up a little bit, got rejected, opened up this day. We have a high of 413.24. Now it closed at 412.74. So as you can see, there you're gonna see some letters next to each number. There is the O, the H, the L, the C. That is the opening price. The opening price is the opening of a candle, right? So if the candle is green, let's focus on this one right here. It means that it opened right here, it moved up throughout the day, and it closed right here. Now, that little peak that you see a little bit at the top, that is the highest it was in the day, and this is the lowest it was in the day. So you have open, and again, we're talking about this candle right here. You have open, close, highest peak, that would be the H high, and the little low peak, that would be the low. So you have an open, you have a high, a low, and open and a close. And again, each candle has this, whether we're talking daily, which is what we're looking at right now, the 4-hourly chart, the 1-hourly chart, 30 minutes. Each candle represents either 1 day, 4 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute. And again, you can go through all of those numbers, and each candle is going to be exactly what you're clicking on down there. If you look at the 1 minute chart, it looks very volatile. It looks a way different, right? Because a lot can happen within a minute. Here we go. That's our 1 minute chart. That's for today. So each candle would be just 1 minute. This minute it opened up right here. It maybe went as low as down over here. You can see the wick, that would be the low. Then it probably turned around somewhere, went all the way up, and when that minute was up, click on to the next. And so you get the point, more or less, of what candles are. Again, if you have a lot of questions about exactly high, low, open, close, drop a comment below. I'll go through them, I'll answer it, and please drop the comments in the YouTube. I will be sharing this on multiple platforms. I'm answering the comments on YouTube. Very important to know that. It's just YouTube is just open for everyone, user friendly, comfortable, private, all that good stuff. Anyways, so now for prediction analysis, I do want to disclose that this is not financial advice, nor I am a financial advisor. I did work with one of the top banks. I do have a degree in finance. I am not a financial advisor, though. I have a license or two, but I am not licensed to advise anyone on what to do with their money. So again, all this is for entertainment purposes, and let's have fun while we get to know each other and we get comfortable with it all. I'm sure that after doing several videos about this, once we start going live every day, that's going to be a lot more fun. Then we can actually trade together by the minute and all that good stuff. Going back to that 412.74 rejection. At this point, actually what I've been considering over the past few days is to load up on some puts to gamble that the market will be going down, because if it does get rejected right here at 412, we will see a massive sell-off. As you can see back here, back in December 13, 2022, it wasn't even at 412. It was actually, that was actually the losing of 406, I believe, 407. Let's see. Yep, 40. Yeah, that was a high of 407.06 where it rejected, went all the way down to 398, and then it just continued to go down for a while. This was actually, I believe it was an FOMC meeting. What is an FOMC meeting? FOMC meetings are meetings held by the Federal Reserve Bank. These meetings are happening multiple times, between, I believe, 4 to 7 times. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. 4 to 7 times a year. And what they do is they adjust interest rates. Basically adjusting interest rates means they will adjust how much they're charging banks to borrow money from the Federal Reserve, and therefore banks will transfer those costs over to customers. and they will adjust your credit card rate, auto loan rate, mortgage rate, so on and so forth. And this has an impact on the economy because if the interest rates are so high, then there's not a lot of probability of borrowing or lending money, and therefore reduction in the process of economy growth. And therefore normally, sometimes, not all the times because the market is unpredictable, most times the market will take a down toll if things look negative for the future. They'll take or it will just go bullish and skyrocket if things are sounding very bullish, such as low interest rates. Everybody's going to be able to borrow money, things are going to grow, more spending in the country, so on and so forth, similar to what happened in 2019 or 2020. Sorry, 2020 is the year that the miracle of the market happened, where it was, you can see right here, these two drops right here, that is COVID happening, the news of all that. Then November 2020 is when things just go beautifully skyrocketing. All of 2021, all of 2020, 2022 takes a turnaround, and we have been in a bearish market ever since. A bearish market means things are looking like they're going down, and most likely they will continue to go down until you find more or less, I believe, a turnaround of at least, I'd say 25%. Once it turns around from its lowest point, then you can actually claim a bullish market has started, and that's when things start to uptrend again. Now, if you are only buying stock, you're looking for bullish markets. If you're only buying stock, what you want to be doing is you want to be waiting to buy at low times. When things are oversold, that's when you want to buy. Things get oversold again, that's when you want to buy. Of course, for the future, it's hard to predict. But for example, me personally, I wouldn't buy stock at this point where it looks like the overall market is hitting resistance. I would wait to buy if things look like they go north and we are able to take out 428. You're like, hey, but we're at 412 now. Why would I wait to buy at 428 if things are moving up? And that is because you want to minimize your risk. You want to minimize the probability of you losing money, because money in your hand is a lot more important than money that could potentially be made. Don't chase. Do not chase. Wait for confirmations. Wait for things to look good. Now, would I buy at 412 in another scenario? What would that be? It would be if we surpass 412, we could potentially get rejected right here at 424. Now, why 424? 424 because it is the last rejection that we had back in August 17. And that rejection line has proven, and it looks like it was a support at this point. Looks like, as you can see right here, it looks like it dropped below it back in September to November. It was battling it out right there. Once it was able to go over that 424, looks like we skyrocketed it all the way to 470. So what you want to do is you want to either buy at support or you want to buy once a rejection has dominantly been surpassed. And dominantly means that it's really moved through it, right? So personally, it looks like I might be loading up on some puts over the next few days. I would like for this to get rejected at 424. Then I would like for it to come down and then bounce off of that 412 support. If it does bounce off that 412 support, it looks like it's going to move a little bit forward and we should all be making some good money. Now, if it does get rejected right here at 412, I would like for it to see, as you can see earlier here before, this was back in November 29th. If it can lose this, what is this number we're looking at? 407. If we can go down under 407, which we have these past few days right here. Now we can go under 407. Looks like we should be able to take a good dip below, continue to move forward down and make some money. Because if you do get some puts, a rejection after 407, Looks like the next support would probably be 388, if not 378, which would be some really good profit. Um, this is just basically an understanding of supports and resistances. You just don't try to buy long. Don't be bullish when something is at a resistance. Wait for it to become support, or wait for the resistance to be just blown out and taken out. Let's see. Now, trend lines. You can see like, oh, why is there a line there? What is happening? There is always trend lines happening, and you can map these out in any chart and in any time frame, whether you're looking at the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, 30 minutes, so on and so forth. So what you want to do is you grab your pencil. You're going to go right here. You create a trend line. Now, a trend line looks like this. So you find the lowest point more or less at what you're looking at. Now we're looking at a daily chart. Now, one trend line, for example, would be, as you could see, we could follow all these right here from back in December 27, I believe. And you would create a trend line right there. There you go. As you could see, this thing went up, it went down, it constantly bounced on that line. And when it confirmed right here, it just skyrocketed. Now, here going up, it came to test that line again. It failed it. Looks like it turned around. And this is what you call a dead cat bounce. Dead cat bounce is when something is downtrending, it bounces a little bit, but it was already dead. And it just plummets down. And that looks like actually what happened right there. And it dropped all the way, and it found its support at 377. More or less support where it had been bouncing previously over here. Again, you're never going to get exact numbers that are bouncing exactly the same number or top of the same number. It's basically going to be a little region where in this area looks like support, this little area looks like rejection. So just be mindful of that. I see a lot of traders out there saying, oh, right here at these exact numbers. And anybody who gives you exact numbers does not really understand the volatility of the market, or they want you, or they're talking to people who don't understand, and they want them to believe that it's that simple in order for them to, gain subscribers, followers, make it look easy, make it sound easy, so on and so forth. But nothing is ever exact. So we want to create another trend line. We'll hit that trend line button, and we'll create one for this support. Now, why am I doing it there? Is because initially it looks like this is what it followed. It bounced right here. It went up, down, blah, blah. Looks like it failed and it went down. Now, what we're looking at here, it looks like it's getting rejected right there. Now, if it is getting rejected at that trend line, the most probable thing is that it is going to drop. Now, could it bounce again off of its 403 support? Because as you can see, it has bounced right here and bounced right here. If it does bounce at 403, then you could potentially look at a battle again at 412. Then you have 424, so on and so forth, and it can be moving up. Now, every time things move up, of course, all these technical analysis charts, they work great, but they're dependent on the actuality of events that are actually happening in reality. Are things actually bullish? Are things actually bearish? Is there a reason for the market to uptrend? Is there a reason for the market to downtrend? Is there an FOMC meeting? Are we going to war? Is there something with oil prices happening in Saudi Arabia? So therefore, it is very important for you to keep up with news. A great tool to use, of course, is Twitter. Twitter is a way where you want to follow people that report things that seem more or less relevant to what you are following. And we're going to be going over that in the next few episodes. And what I do want to be doing when we're going live is to go over daily news with you so that we can continue to move forward with having news, with being up to date together on news and what I'm looking at, what are you looking at, so on and so forth. And we can together, create this group and this environment. Mainly, the environment that I'm creating is for, obviously as Papa Trades, as a dad, I have the responsibilities, I have a kid, so on and so forth. Something that might not be available for unforeseen reasons that other dads would understand. And therefore, I'm trying to create this environment of, where dads can come together and make some money on the side, because why not? And most importantly, to have a little fun, because, if you're trading stocks, it's kind of like, educational gambling is what I like to call it. But let's move forward and just pinpoint that the rejections that I'm looking at right here, as you can see, there's another more important rejection. And we move this one up right there to where it just got rejected, 417. Looks like it got rejected back here when dropped down. It came up, we couldn't impale it this time. Rejected this time, it went down, got a double bottom, 1, 2. Then now it's moving up. If it passes this, I'm telling you, if it passes this, it's going to skyrocket. It is going to. And it means that things are looking good all over again. There's a price gap to fill over here, I believe, at around 421. So we might be hitting that price gap. We'll talk about price gaps in the future as well. And if it does fill up that price gap, which looks like it might have filled it up already. Nope, just 417. Let's see. Yeah, looks like we'll see. Now if it does get rejected, I would expect a bounce either at 404 for a triple bottom, you know, because we have 1, we have 2. If it gets rejected and it comes back again here and it bounces at 3, triple bottom is very strong, so that would be something cool to see. Now if 403 cannot hold, obviously I look at 400. 400 is an obvious number, and anything below that, of course, then you just don't know. But anyway, this does conclude pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you today. I cannot summarize everything and compress everything into one video, unfortunately. There's a lot going on. There is many things that I can teach you on this channel. Just wanted to give you an understanding of the situation, the things that I'm going to be teaching you or sharing with you, preferably say. Not much of a teacher myself, but although I did try to teach English in Thailand, and I gotta tell you that did not work out. But anyway, without further ado, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff, guys. It helps a ton. Let's stay together. Let's continue to, you know, please comment below. Let me know any questions. Message me. I'll more than happy to respond to any sort of messages, comments, inquiries, all that good stuff. I'm very available this month. We'll continue to post every day and update every single day on what is happening. On tomorrow's video, I look forward to updating everybody on whatever questions you had or anything you wanted me to slow down on and talk about. I am starting with an account of only $500. This account will be shared publicly and we will continue to monitor it together. So without further ado, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Papa Trades Daily done. Let's go.